This is the second day of New Year's. Originally, I was going to post this on New Year's Day, but I have ran into a problem. So, I'm just going to go out of my way to say this right now. I'm going to give guys a little bit of motivation, but I'm also going to give warnings in the process as well. People always declare that New Year's is a day where people will go out and get drunk, celebrate their ways with anything with a bang and all that shit, right? But the way that I see it, and based off the fact that this is motivated from my mother herself, New Year's is also about being thankful to be alive. 2022 was a hard knock life. And it's because of the fact that celebrities, people out here being killed each and every day in 2022 has caused a lot of downfalls for people. Especially since Queen Elizabeth is no longer upon the living, all that stuff. You can't really wish people a happy new year. They can't even wish their folks a happy new year anymore. They can't even go and celebrate their birthdays. You can't do nothing of that anymore because they're no longer living. On New Year's Day, do y'all ever look at yourselves in the mirror and ask yourself, is New Year's really about drinking and stuff like that? Or is it about actually being thankful to be alive to see New Year's? The answer is, from my personal point of view, it's about being alive to make sure that you can be able to have a next birthday, no matter how old you get. Being alive to make sure that you can celebrate Valentine's Day with your loved ones as much as you can. Because a lot of y'all don't seem to realize that you're going to have to start buckling down on reality. A lot of these celebrities have passed on. And I'm really starting to think that there is a pattern to these situations, like something from Death Note, because people are dying back to back every single day. And then on top of that, in case I have not told you guys things, I'm going to have to start buckling down on reality too. I am 20 years old, about to become a full-grown adult. Even though evidently some people will say I'm already adult, but I'm a young adult if you think about that for instance. But not only am I going to be putting my hobbies aside for a bit, but I'm also going to learn to be a little bit more responsible in the process, because I got some disturbing news before Christmas even began and going on to New Year's. So I just found out that my mother has signs of breast cancer. She's basically becoming a victim to breast cancer, and the whole family was breaking down. And I genuinely feel like that I'm the only one who's actually asking her, is she okay? I don't be going around just commanding her to do things, because she is suffering. She is suffering from a condition that can easily get aggressive for who knows how long. And I'm hoping that the outcome is that whatever it is that has to be removed, practically if we ain't got no other choice but to, it will get removed and she'll be back in good condition again. Because I refuse to sit by and just outright take it as if that's something that I'm gonna have to just accept. Honestly, cancer is no surprise at all, but it will come and go as it pleases. And I'm really honestly hoping that she will be fully cured, because I do not want to lose my mother this early. I do not want to have to go through all the stages of grief and all that stuff. I feel like I'm the only one who's actually willing to help her because of the fact that I am her daughter. Which is why if I were y'all, I would start taking things a little bit more seriously. You may hate somebody on your side of the family, but hate ain't gonna lead to one or two places: despair or basically suicide in a way. Because given the note that I have lost an actual best friend to suicide and stuff like that, I still managed to keep myself motivated enough to actually consult with people and all that stuff. So before y'all start thinking that New Year's is just a place, it's just a holiday where everyone gets to have all fun, you need to start cracking down on reality. Because one day, your family members are going to end up suffering one way or another. And you have to be ready to face that. Because if you can accept the fact that you're happy to be alive, do it for the sake of other people. Because there won't be any more birthdays, there won't be any more Christmas, there won't be any more Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all the good holidays. You won't be able to live to see that happen. And this goes out to most of my friends too. Because I care about y'all. I care about a lot of people. And even though that I need to start actually being a little less caring to those people who are completely just to me, I still care about you regardless. I'm concerned for you. So please, if you honestly don't see a reason to celebrate New Year's, think about the people that you're with right now who is desperately worried about you. And even though that I am going to start New Year's with a little bit more of a challenge or whatnot, I'm just going to give warnings because even though I mentioned this a lot of times, I'm only going to say this once and one time only because it is a new year. So you know what? Let's just hope that we can end things on a good terms, or at least come to good terms. If you're one of those types of people who thinks that listening to one side of perspective is okay, please remind yourself that reading the room is a thing. I refuse to put up with people who doesn't even try allowing others to explain what's going on just because you got involved in an argument. And number two, I'm not going to put up with people who are going to tell me, hey, unfriend this person or block this person, this, that, and the third. And the reason why you want us to block these people is because they were disrespecting you or something. I understand that you don't like to be disrespected, but at the same time, what does that have to do with us? Like, that is something that I am really, really starting to question. Just because y'all got something going on doesn't mean that I have to stop being friends with them. I don't care who they are to you. I don't care if they're your aunt, your grandma, your sister, your best friend. I don't care about none of that. If it ain't got nothing to do with me, do not force me to block or unfriend someone just because you don't want us listening to them. That sounds a bit inconsiderate and flat out selfish. We may be your friends and we love to listen to what you have to say. But please remind yourself that we are human beings separated from one another. We may have similar mindsets, but do not expect us to just automatically assume that we're just going to do the same thing you do just because this is like Simon Says. And then on top of that, if I choose not to unfriend somebody, you're going to go out of your way to unfriend me just because of that? I'm sorry, but you have lost 100% of my respect. And I've known some people who has done that since Google Plus days. And I really do not like that. So if you're one of those types of people who are willing to do things like that, please walk out the door while you can. Because I'm not going to start this year off with people being like that towards me under any circumstances. I don't even care if I met you for 3 years. If you're one-sided, biased, or you just absolutely think or just gullible to the point that you can't even listen to what another person has to say just because they're your best friend or something like that, then honestly, you don't deserve to be my friend. Because I'm not willing to be involved in no drama because you guys decide to like throw me at something. The only time, however, that I will get involved in drama is when someone puts my name in something. And I will be sure to clarify or clear it up because I'm not going to be involved in no drama involving that. Especially over something so pathetic. If it got nothing to do with me, do not involve my name in it. Don't even try to put me in it. I'm that type of friend who loves to hear people out, but I will not resort to any circumstances unless it has something to do with me. And another thing, the greatest mistake that I have made, or an outright fatal mistake, was telling people that I have changed. Because the moment that you spill those words out of your mouth, people are going to be on your ass like a whole security camera. There's no ifs, buts, and nuts about it because they're waiting for you to fuck up. So they try to set you up in order to make you fail. And then go back to other people and start telling them, hey, this person really hasn't changed after all. They're a bunch of liars. That's where I have made my worst mistake at. Because like I said, I'm going to have to show people more than I could tell them how much character development I have. And even though, like I said, I have made some mistakes before, I'm willing to make up for it, unlike some of those people. And let me tell you something. I used to be the person to hold grudges against people. But at this point, I no longer do. But I'm not afraid, and I'm definitely not afraid to go all out, if anything. Because unless you're those people who tries to personally get someone canceled, that is when we really have a problem. Because you're not going to start doing that to people over something so dumb. What makes you think that if you choose not to listen to what the other side has to say, what makes you think that I have to listen to you? That's what I want to know. Because as far as I'm concerned, I'm no longer a child. I may have a mindset of a child, but at least that child's not to be underestimated under any circumstances. So all I got to say is, this is my last and final warning. Once I close the door, if I start lashing out if you do something so bizarre, do not be surprised because I tried to warn you. I'm not willing to put up with situations like these. I'm not, I'm a ride, but I'm not to die friend. I'm not going to get killed over someone else's irresponsibilities or end up losing a friend behind someone else's irresponsibility. Because it honestly fucks me up. You can't trust too many friendships out here these days, but at least you know who you're dealing with. Because I'm trying to have myself a little challenge to see if I can actually be able to work things out with myself, get myself together so I can be more used to people. But I'm not going out like that. I'm not willing to put up with it. So I hope you don't take this lightly, because I mean business. But I do hope that most of y'all do have a good New Year's. And let's hope that everything goes well for all of you. And I love you. We all do.